Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's been suddenly chastising Republicans, and we know we had this blue wave that happened on yesterday in the elections across the nation. And let's talk about why AOC says don't fall for it. It's not about morality, it's not about the government being shut down or being woke, suddenly waking up with a conscience. It's about power, it's about ego, and most importantly, revenge. So let's get into it. And as always, let's be beautifully honest. What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS. All right, so we see MTG here, and she has been better known as bleach blonde, bad built, butch body, okay, by Jasmine Crockett. And there were so many songs that were made after that meltdown. But let's talk about it because she went on The View, one of the places a lot of people thought she would never be a guest on. And she's been publicly dragging her own party, criticizing Republicans, and acting like she's standing on principle. But AOC said, don't be fooled by it. And she broke it down. And pretty much, she isn't upset about corruption. Yeah, we know the government is shut down and all the things that are going on with that. But that's not really what her issue is. She's not upset about the chaos. She's not upset about the dysfunction. And not even really talking about her own rhetoric that contributed to a lot of how people see her. She's upset because she didn't get what she wanted. But let's get into what she said on The View, just a little piece of
for criticizing you for coming on this show. I think you mentioned it already that there were a few, and you called them, quote unquote, I believe this is you, mostly weak Republican men. So, would you like to name names?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of paid social media influencers. And I found it very interesting that they were the MAGA accounts, but they're all paid. And they all attacked me when I announced I was coming to join you ladies on The View. And I think that's very weak and pathetic. But when I talk about weak Republican men, I'm pretty much talking oftentimes about the leadership in the House and the Senate. And they're not getting our agenda done. And I've got so many bills. I have a bill you guys in New York would love. It would end capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home. So if you've owned a house for a long time,
we used to have that.
we need it back.
Yeah.
But I can't even get it to the floor for a vote without Mike Johnson approving it to come to the floor.
Do you think Mike Johnson should come on this show?
Absolutely, I think Mike Johnson should come on.
He has a I guarantee his answer would be, I've never heard of that show. I don't know what it is.
I know nothing.
You know what? Thank you. Thank you for coming on with us.
So yeah, that's just a little piece of her stint on The View. And like I said, a lot of people didn't feel like she would ever go on there. But like a lot of these people in politics do, when it's time to save their own you-know-whats, they will do whatever they have to do. So her going on The View is not a shock at this point in time. But before, I continue, I want to get into what AOC had to say about her going on, not just The View, but her going on these tangents and talking about her disappointment in her party and things like that, and saying, listen, don't fall for it.
For you. MTG, people are like, oh my God, she's saying all of these things. Like, what's gotten into her lately? Oh, like she's bucking against Trump. She's bucking against the administration. Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to run for Senate in Georgia. She wanted to run for Senate earlier this year in the state of Georgia. She wanted to be the Republican nominee for Senate. So she was gearing up for that statewide race, and Trump told her no. Trump said no. And the White House and Trump land shut down Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal ambitions to run for Senate. And she has been on a revenge tour ever since.
So, yeah, she's pretty much saying this is her revenge. And even if this is her revenge, it's not really all out war, because if you watched her on The View, she still is not denouncing 45/47. She still said she loves him. She is not disavowing the views that he, has for the nation, or, anything of the sort like that. So her allegiance is to power, and the proximity to it. It's not about, oh, I seen the light. No longer in the darkness, no more night. I seen the light. I have been rejected. Okay. And AOC is calling it out. And there are a lot of other people who absolutely agree with that sentiment. They're like, yeah, I wasn't buying it in the first place. Some people were saying, look, she's one of the people that said the Sandy Hook situation was fake. So that's unforgivable in my book. Some other people were like, she is not to be trusted. This is just her trying to save her own, what. And even though some people are like, well, you know what, she's saying some things that I agree with right now, and yeah, and that's cool, but can you really trust this woman on the screen, who this is at one of Joe Biden's State of the Union speeches, where she and the other chick, I think her name was Laura Bolbert, whatever her freaking name is, the one with the glasses, they were making a scene. And we know what she said about Jasmine Crockett, and, how she thinks her eyelashes are getting in the way. And for me, that is unforgivable. For me, I am a master lash artist. I am that. It's like, don't play with that, okay? Because honestly, a whole lot more people that look like Marjorie Taylor Greene are candidates and clients for getting those services done. But I digress. This ain't about that. This is about this. And the performance of outrage without really having the courage to confront the person who actually holds the influence, that she wants. It's just performative at this point. So I agree with AOC. I don't believe that she can be trusted, but honestly, that's like a lot of these politicians, especially the ones that have been on that so-called right, the Republicans, and definitely MAGA, because they have just been doing 45/47's bidding for all of this time. And we see where that's getting them, because let me tell you, that blue wave that happened throughout the elections across the nation on yesterday, I had to tell you, when I woke up the next day after the presidential election, I felt terrible. I really did. Because I was like, what are you people doing? This is the person that was the president during the pandemic. So many terrible things happen. He is not a leader. He is a failed business person. And now you elect someone that led an insurrection, in my personal opinion. He has all of these criminal convictions. He was pretty much begging, the governor of Georgia, all I need is 11,000 some odd votes. Like, and he talks about the elections being stolen. He's the only one that's trying to steal elections. And those are just a few things, just to name a few. And he's enriched himself and his family so much since he got into office. And you want this person to be the leader of the nation when all he cares about is himself, is crazy. It's crazy. So when I woke up on yesterday morning and I was seeing the results. Like I said, I didn't have a local election to participate in on yesterday, but I felt so encouraged. So it was like the opposite feeling that I felt waking up the next day after the presidential election. When I woke up yesterday after the elections that happened on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 versus 2024. Oh my God, what a difference. And this is not me putting my hope in people. It's just the fact that people are waking up. It's okay to be woke, people. I know they say being woke is bad, woke is broke, but that's a freaking lie. And the same people who call themselves Christians, which we know they're not. But anyway, the same people who call themselves Christians, they don't read the Bible, because even the Bible has many scriptures talking about be vigilant, be aware. Your enemy, the devil, creeps around like a roaring lion seeking who he may devour. And in my personal opinion, I'm not saying that 45/47 actually is the devil, but I will say that he actually operates in that spirit of darkness. So yeah, you got to be woke. You got to keep your eyes open. You got to be aware of what's going on. It's okay. It's okay to be woke, people, because what they have tried to define woke is not it. Being gay, transgender, having pink hair, green hair, all the other bullcrap that they were trying to define woke as is not woke. None of those things that they have defined woke to be is woke at all. None of it. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think about MTG and what AOC had to say about her. What do you think about her performance on The View? Do you think otherwise? Do you feel like, oh, she's finally waking up? Or do you realize that she's actually up for re-election soon? So now she has to shore up her base because she has statewide constituents to worry about. Let me know your thoughts in the comment. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.